I heard that.
All right, I can hear you now.
There we go.
Working, finally. All right, we finally got this working, guys. This has been a long time waiting.
I
We
like the
finally got it
SpongeBob
working,
background. I think it's
recorded.
awesome.
Everything's working. Hi, everyone. I'm Ali. I'm joined by Babyface Anthony Blackburn today. We're gonna do like a little Q&A session. First off, would you like to just introduce yourself to the people who may not know you? Oh yeah.
Anthony Babyface Blackburn, the welterweight PowerSlap champion. I'm a good old boy from Michigan. Grew up here. I was born in Detroit. I grew up in Wyandotte in the Downriver area. Had a normal childhood upbringing. Uh, played outside with the neighborhood kids. Didn't wasn't able to come inside till the street lights came on, and didn't have the internet the whole childhood. It was pretty good. I enjoyed it.
Good to hear, man. And congratulations on becoming the welterweight champion. You beat one of the toughest guys in PowerSlap, Muniz. Man, I imagine your feelings were just like blown through the roof, man.
Oh, it was unreal. I've never felt a feeling like that before in my life. Like winning in Power Slap, it's and just participating, it's just all around the whole experience is mind blowing. So it's really cool.
Yeah, and to do it against Muniz after beating KO Chris, it just seems like you're untouchable at this point, you know?
I mean, everyone's going to be working and coming after me now. So that just means I got to work that much harder.
Yeah, you got
I
a
got
big
this
bounty
target
on
on
you
my
now,
back.
you know? But what is potentially next for you?
So, me and coach have sat down, talked the other day about the next move. Obviously, the matchmakers have a lot of say in everything. So, waiting to hear from their next thoughts. But, a double champ type situation looks pretty good.
Similar to that of the Conor McGregor era when he went from featherweight to lightweight, two
Hmm.
simultaneous championship. I could very much see that. And it is something that is possible as well, due to you said before, the weight cut is not so difficult for you, if I'm
Yeah,
correct.
I
Yeah.
could do, it'd be a tough road to get to 155, and it definitely would involve a water cut. That's one of the things you know, try not to do when it
Oh,
comes to power slap, because when you get dehydrated, when you're cutting all that water, the brain is the first organ that loses the water,
of
and you
course.
lose that cushion in your head. So, um, you got to be smart about it. Is it going to be a tough decision to make? Yeah. So I'll have a lot of time to think about it, and we're just playing it by ear for now, I think.
Potentially moving up would make more sense than moving down.
It definitely would be a harder road as far as uh them guys strike a lot harder, and they're a lot bigger than I am.
100%.
So
Yeah, they probably walk around like minimum, I'd say 210.
yeah, yeah, 200 pounds is the normal walk around for those guys.
Yeah. And what were your thoughts when you first got the call to fight for the championship?
I absolutely lost my mind. I hung up the phone, and it was funny. Miss Erica, when she called last time, when she said, "Do you want to fight KO Chris?" She was waiting for me to start screaming on the phone. She says, "Oh, you're not excited?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm just waiting until I hang up the phone with you." So as soon as I hung up that phone, when she said you're going to fight for the title, yeah, I lost my mind. I was screaming super loud, lost my voice. It was awesome.
Man, so happy for you. And now that Power Slap is growing and becoming a bigger organization, the talks of it moving international, does that excite you? Like,
Oh, for sure. We're ready.
oh yeah,
We got the passport ready. So I mean, yeah, that's going to be huge. Anybody that gets to go overseas is obviously it's going to be a brand new experience for any of us Americans. I can't wait.
oh yeah. And What are some perfect locations, some dream locations you'd love to perform in?
Well, Fight Island in Abu Dhabi comes to
Oh,
mind for sure.
100%. Yeah.
Um, I think they have uh, something in Saudi sign like getting planned, so that would be cool too. Anything overseas is obviously going to be bonkers compared to what we've done over here.
Of
I
course.
just can't wait to see going overseas, and then next year when we start traveling to the different states in America, we're gonna be we're gonna be ripping and roaring and real busy.
Of course. Currently, it's only Vegas and the UFC Apex that you guys are able to fight in because of like the rules, I think, and stuff. Trying to get it
Yeah, it
like,
has to get
yeah,
sanctioned before you
yeah.
can have a legitimate event. So that's what we're waiting on. New states.
Do any fights in the welterweight division? Any guys in there that potentially excite you right now? You want to go for them? Nah,
I mean, so we'll definitely probably run it back with Manny. That was too close to,
100%.
you know, so that's
That
gotta
was a
happen
good
again.
that was a good fight. That was close.
That's,
That's probably like one of the fights that got me hooked onto PowerSlap. Watching that it was recent. 'Cause I've only started watching recently. So when I saw that, I was like, damn, these guys are two BMFs. They're going back and forth.
yeah,
They won't go
that's I mean
down.
that's kind of how championship matches should go if you're matching them up right,
Perfect matchmaking.
So, shoot, great matchmaking on that one.
Yeah. Do you have any like hobbies or sports that you enjoy doing outside of PowerSlap?
This right here,
Oh yeah.
kendama, baby.
Kendama.
This is my favorite thing in the world to pass the time when I'm not training or doing power slap. But tons of trick
Can you show the
capabilities.
camera how it's done?
Oh yeah, a little bit.
Oh,
We got some lighting here, but we got three cups. So catch them on the cups, right? And then you got a spike too that the ball goes on. So any kind of combination of any tricks you want to figure out, you can do. It's just
that's so epic, man.
it passes
I
the
enjoy
time.
things like that. It's good for the brain.
And
It's
now
good for
all the other
the
slappers are getting
organs.
into it too, so
Yeah.
it's pretty cool to watch them get better.
Do you think that potentially any power slap fighters who have like MMA background have an advantage against those who might not?
They have, I would say, advantages and disadvantages. There's two. I mean, I guess people that have trained, you know, they're training to put power into their shots. They're rotating their feet and stuff like that. Their head movement, trying to get away from shots. That training all is, kind of against what Power Slap's rules enforce. So
Yeah, because no
having
flinching.
that having that prior training affects, probably how you're thinking on the up there in the match.
Yeah, because your mind reflex is just to like avoid the slap and
And you see it. That's how a lot of these competitors are doing. Their following is because they have this prior training. Somebody like me that only trained for power slap is not thrown a foul yet. So there's got to be, there's definite ups and downs to having the experience in different disciplines, but there's also advantages to not having the experience in other disciplines.
would you say that it's hard to not flinch when a slap that
Yeah,
power is coming towards you?
it is. It is. It's like you know, you're worried about, all right, I hope I don't get knocked out and man, this is gonna hurt. And then man, I can't wait to hit him back after this. So it's all happening that in a split of a second, So it's pretty funny. It's
I like
wild.
it's so like it's the perfect sport for like an adrenaline junkie. You just want to hop in there, you just want to smack the shit out of the other guy. It's just like I could imagine myself like being there and just being so hyped. Like, is that how you feel when you're on there? stage.
Yeah, it's an unreal feeling. The energy is unmatched, especially at a live venue. Like you can see it when you're watching on Rumble. You can see everyone in the crowd is, they got their phone out. They're
They're ready,
all
man.
amazed. It's an experience. It's
Oh,
unlike
100%.
anything else.
If they ever came to like the UK, I would 100% go and watch it.
He said, "I'm getting
Yeah,
tickets for sure." Yeah, I would
that
too.
would
It's
sell. Because over here in the UK, we don't get much like UFC. They have in the 304 in Manchester. Probably not gonna go to that because the timing is catered to those in America. So it's and the ticket prices are quite
yeah,
expensive.
them ticket prices are pretty
I'm already
hefty.
thinking about that. We have local organizations, and if I want to watch MMA, I can go to like I'm not sure if you heard of them, Cage Warriors.
Yeah, yeah, you could
Yeah, Cage
support that.
Warriors.
You probably got
Yeah,
friends in there,
they're having a
in that
show
organization too.
the other day. Yeah. Moving on. How like often do you train for power slap like each fight?
Okay, so me personally, me and coach do camps. So when I find out about a fight, he puts together a program and it's usually, it fills the space up until the fight. So we're doing 6, 7, 8 week camps where I'll go, 3, 4 days a week and we just get our training in.
Good stuff. And what exactly is it that you guys do in the training?
So breaking down the movement of a slap was, it's pretty easy. There's not much to it. So the basic movements of getting your rotation, a lot of core work, and then obviously chest work and traps to get the defense. So it's just basically anything to improve the mechanics of your slap is what I work.
Is there anything that you guys can do to perhaps strengthen the your face so that you're able to withstand the slap better?
So in my experience, the the way you take a slap better, and people have their jaws their size and jaw exercise, and that definitely is building your muscle, making your jaw strong. But I think it's really the neck that you have to get stronger so that your brain doesn't move around as much. That's what's going to save you from getting knocked out and keep you up there is having a strong neck and being able to really tank them slaps. That's what the judges are looking for. You're looking for the reaction and if it's doing damage to you at all. So if you're up there, boom, and it just glances off you and like nothing happened, that's looking better in the judge's eyes. So you really got to have a strong neck, in my opinion.
About how you're able to sell it. That the yeah.
Because I mean, I
If you're
call it a car accident. Like if you ever, I don't know if you ever been in a car accident. Hopefully
uh
not. But so it's kind of like a oh crap moment, and you just tense everything up.
yeah,
That's kind of the strategy behind taking the slap.
I see. And let me just read my notes, see what else we got in here. I imagine before you joined the Power Slap that you were a big watcher of the UFC, I imagine.
Oh, I think I started watching probably mid 2000s was when I started getting into it. Obviously, I was wrestling at the time, and I had a buddy that got into MMA, and he was training, and that was about the time I started watching with him. He would have the pay-per-view and he would invite us over. We would all watch it together. And then it came time for his first fight. And, that was my first live MMA event. And we go out there and he came out, bobbed and weaved, and he got overhand right, knocked out, dude. It was bad, bad.
Oh,
I was a fan, but that was when I was like, oh, wow, you can't just be anybody and get up here and
yeah.
do this.
Do you remember what your first like event was? Like what pay-per-view it was?
Oh, not by the numbers. I know it was an Anderson Silva.
Oh,
He was the
and
headliner on
he's up there as one of
it.
your favorites. Who would you
Oh,
say are your
yeah.
favorite fighters?
Anderson Silva, Anthony Rumble Johnson, rest in peace.
Legend.
Uh,
Yeah.
Sean O'Malley is definitely one of them.
Yeah.
Chuck Liddell,
Ooh, that's
Tito
great.
Ortiz, all them old guys that are
The old
like
school guys. They were awesome, man. They don't
definitely
make
should
them
be
like
retired now.
yeah. Sean
It's
O'Malley,
cool.
I would say he has potential to be a great fighter. Like he already is a great
I
fighter, but
mean,
like I'm talking best bantamweight.
one of the best, yeah, for sure. He's on that trajectory because he's, you know, keeps on showing up and keeps on showing out. He's really putting these guys out and stopping their offense. He's just outdoing them, really.
Yeah, it's
It's
insane how he was able to do
awesome to
Chio
see.
in his last fight,
Yeah.
man. Um, on the topic of like UFC power slap, the UFC attire, per se, is like consists of like a short and gloves. What would you say is the is the attire for like power slap? Like, is there like
I
any rules
like
or
our
stuff you
uniform. I
can't wear?
got you.
Yeah.
So I know for the guys, they make us wear the sweatpants and the jersey, and we're, you know, required to walk out in that. The girls, they just introduced a new like spandex type of uniform, and you seen both the girls. Some were wearing the sweatpants and the jersey, and the other girls are doing spandex and the sports top. So they're trying to change things up, and that's a new partnership with Fanatics that we got.
Oh,
So
Fanatics is the merchandising company, right?
mhm.
I do like the jerseys that you guys wear.
They're so cool. These ones,
They look
the new
awesome,
ones
man.
that we got, definitely better than the old ones.
Yeah, and the branding with Power Slap is phenomenal, man. I love the look of the championship and everything. It's epic, man.
Mm.
And another thing I do really rate about Power Slap is the way you guys are able to consistently fight. It's like you guys are so active.
It's a lot less of a turnaround because there's less injuries happening. I mean, yeah, there's risk, and there has been certain people that, you know, I was one of the guys that I think there's been 270 or 280 matches, and I'm one of a handful that's ended up at the hospital after the match, and that was just to be checked on, and there was not really anything wrong. I had a little orbital fracture, but there's nothing you can really do about something like that. You just got to let it heal anyhow. But they send you to the hospital and make sure you're okay for sure. Like just check on you.
Yeah, and with each slap, there's like also like, have you ever been like poked in the eye, like when you've been slapped?
Unintentionally, yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, we're closing our eyes and gritting down, so it's not too bad. And it
Oh,
happens in a split second, and you're on to your strike, so it's you got to recover quick, you
yeah. So
know.
you don't really pay too much attention to it.
Hmm.
So it's nothing bad. And what would you say to those who perhaps say power slap? I don't care about this. It's not a real sport. What would you say to them?
Well, if it is definitely a sport. It's two people competing under a rule set. There's a winner and a loser usually. That to me is competition enough for a sport.
Completely agree.
We're getting paid for it, so we're professionals at the sport.
Yeah, completely
Um,
agree.
I just think that these people that are in the comments and hating on it are, uh, yeah, like hive mind, like you said earlier
Yeah,
today.
like
You
it's
know,
the herd
they just are
mentality, man.
agreeing to
And
agree and
they
not
haven't seen
having.
it, man. They haven't seen this stuff is epic, man.
When you
Truly
watch it
is.
live, it definitely like it swayed people. Like even seeing one good match, it could change your whole
And
view set
it
on it.
changes you guys' life as well, like as people, because you guys didn't really, you guys started off as ordinary people. You guys got the call to be in Power Slap, and it's changed so many of you guys' lives. I know you used to work in like as a pizza chef, and now you're the world champion. I mean, it's happened
Right.
so quickly.
That's a huge change in life. And not only that is uh it's been a brotherhood since it's so tight and small right now. All these guys that I've met through Power Slap, I mean, we're in group chats on Messenger. We talk every single day, video chat every day, and we keep up with each other's lives. We're very supportive of each other. We all got stuff going on in our normal lives. We all need people to reach out to and help us out. So it's been a brotherhood. Like Andrew Fields, his daughter had CDG. Jesse Nutting, another power slapper, was an organ match. So he gave her his piece of his liver so she could have a better life and survive. She was having liver failure when she actually had the operation. So saved her life. Cole Young, his son had CDG. He gave his own liver to save his son's life. And, that's just something that
It's
PowerSlap
amazing, man.
gave us an
Yeah.
opportunity to improve all of our lives. And it's great to be a part of everyone's.
You guys have built like such a mutual respect even between the competitors. That's like it's enjoyable to watch. It's not like you guys need to unnecessarily create like beef to sell the fight. It's like you guys are going out there, you're gonna slap each other, but at the end of the day, you guys are both gonna be cool with it, you know?
Right. Yeah. We're high fiving and hugging.
Yeah.
Good job. There's no bad blood usually between us guys. If there is any, it usually dissipates too because we'll hash it out. Or it'll be solved there at the table. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And potentially I'm going back now, but with the potential move up to middleweight, do you like that idea? Is that something that you'd like to put into your legacy? Oh, I'm the first person to hold two simultaneous titles. Is that something that you're interested
I think I would much rather go. I think I would rather go down than
in?
up,
Oh,
but I'm not opposed to doing either. Like, each has their pros and cons,
yeah,
but
definitely.
that that double champ would be a really cool dream to
It would, and
accomplish.
it would definitely elevate you to new levels in terms of like sponsorship opportunities and whatnot.
Oh yeah.
Well, you were talking about like the weight cut with the water. That messes up like brain's ability to react. Would you say that like if you got the coin flip, you're first, you're at lightweight, and do you think you have a lot more power than these guys at lightweight? Like,
I'm definitely
yeah,
if I got down there, I'm definitely one of the bigger guys at lightweight. It it would be me getting shredded. I would have full six pack, low body fat, and then I would still have to probably cut water. It's a whole process. And then at that point, I don't know the last time I weighed 155 pounds. So it'd be a hard thing to get there. But, if you make goals, goals are made to be met. So I'm the kind of guy that would probably get it done any way I could if I set my mind to that 155 and I got a match and it was on. I got to make it at that point.
yeah. That's one thing I realized about you. You're competitive. You're locked in. When it's time, fight night, you always show up, man.
Oh yeah, you see me pacing on the stage in the back room while we're waiting for all the other matches to go down. I think I did 8,000 steps in like a 30 by 20 room. Just back and forth, just pacing and not saying a word to anybody, looking down at the floor and just totally in my zone for hours on end too.
when you when you when you guys are walking out, you guys pick your workout songs. How does it work? That's always something I've wondered. Like when you pick the
It's a
songs.
that's a really funny one. So Frank, the president, last time uh, at the last event, he said, "Anthony, you have my favorite music taste out of the whole promotion, right? Out of everybody, because I like hard rock and metal.
Yeah.
He enjoys the same music I do, but we're not allowed to use it, right?
Oh, why is that?
So he has to tell me no every time I'm picking these heavy songs and they got metal vocals and they're screaming. That's the thing that he says we can't have that on like other networks is what he's trying to tell me. He's trying to make it so everybody will want to buy us, right? We're trying to
Oh,
have the the coolest product out, and it appeals to everybody. So he's just trying to make it as, I guess, family friendly as possible so that we have the opportunities. But other than that, we get to choose our walkout music. It just has to get approved by the brass of PowerSlap.
So what was the song that you walked out to last time?
Audio Slave, Coach Eyes. And that's I walked out to that the last 2 times because they wouldn't let me use a Day to Remember song that I wanted.
I think I saw you on a podcast or like interview yesterday. I can't remember the name of the guy, but
yeah, Parks McGregor, the Crossman Productions.
Yeah, and you were talking about something to do with like the training or something. Something about like what training it is that you guys do or something. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it intrigued me. I don't know, man. Can't remember what it was. Trying to remember, man.
In our training, I mean, a lot of people are doing things different. Obviously, a big part of it is just getting to the gym. A lot of these guys they do that normally in their normal lives. So now it's just how specific can you get and how much work can you put in by yourself. A lot of these guys are doing it alone. They don't have a coach. I have a coach that we videotape every set of strikes I do, analyze everything. I'm paying him for a reason. He's doing work outside of just being in the gym. He's studying at home, putting his kids and his wife goes to bed, and he's on Rumble watching PowerSlap matches. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's doing the work that others aren't getting.
That's what a real coach is like supposed to be, man.
Right.
That's good stuff, man.
These guys need to, you're going to see these guys up there fouling every time or not winning. And if you're not winning, you got to make some changes. So think about getting a coach.
I've been keeping up for the last like few weeks or so with the PowerSlap, trying to get into it. Your record is 4 wins, no losses, and a draw. What happened in the draw that made it like a draw?
I think because if you go back and you watch that match was pretty much kind of like the championship match I just had. Super even. We were both dishing out the strikes hard and heavy.
All right. I thought it would have been because of like some illegal strike or something. I didn't watch it. Who was it
just
against?
A toss-up. It was against Cole Young. And if you go back and watch it, I'm sure you'll have a different opinion because a lot of people say that I should have won that match. There was a foul at the end of it. I took all the slaps really, really good, a little bit better than he did. And, he might have been doing a little bit more damage and hitting me harder, but still at the end of the day, a cleaner striker should be winning, points wise.
Is that one that you'd like to get back?
Oh, yeah. I had messaged him because he's been messaging me after I knocked out KO Chris. He said, let's run it back, blah, blah, blah. He definitely wants that definitive win, but I do too. And I messaged him months ago before I won the championship. I said, we're going to need 5 rounds. And then I went and won the championship. And now
you can't have 5 rounds.
If he can, he has to definitely come back after he's been on a suspension because he just had the liver surgery operation.
Okay.
So he had to take 6 months off and recover. And so when he gets back, he'll have to string a couple wins together and I'll have to retain the belt. But that's another fight that intrigues me, is a 5-rounder with Cole Young.
The most recent fight, the title fight, was really close as well. That's another one that I'd like to see run back.
I would do that one too, for sure, Manny.
Yeah, that was a good one. Another question I have for you is, outside of PowerSlap, when it's all said and done, is there anything that you'd like to do? Other sports, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily get into like an MMA or anything like that just because I haven't trained for it, and I know other people would just beat me up. I'd get kicked in my head, knocked the hell out, or arm bar, broken arm, or something crazy. I would probably do like celebrity boxing or something like that. I think that'd
Yeah.
be cool.
Yeah, that's definitely something that if I was in someone's shoes in the power slap, I would be like, all right, I'm gonna try get to the highest level I can in this, and then I'll try and potentially get into celebrity boxing because that's another good paycheck, and then I'll be good when I retire.
And it's a little bit safer than MMA. You're not gonna,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
definitely. Yeah, and now that you're the champ, you just need to defend it. I'd say a few times, and you're probably like pound for pound one of the best in power slap. Would you say? I don't know. I don't want to.
It would take some time, like definitely a few defenses, and depending on what everyone else is doing at the time, because we still got John Davis. He's undefeated middleweight champion. Well, undefeated at middleweight. He he very well could be in them same shoes and have that same opportunity if he does the same thing you're talking about, defend his belt,
Yeah,
and the same thing with the bell at
it's
heavyweight.
interesting, man, to see how this is all gonna play out because it's all quite relatively new. So
Mhm.
wherever it goes from now, it's like you guys, we were talking about like how the OGs of the UFC, you guys are technically the OGs of Power Slap.
Right, right.
So when in 5 years from now, when Power Slap is a big thing, I'm sure it will be. Everyone's gonna look back and they're gonna be like, "Oh, these were the guys back in the day." Like
Exactly.
I'm gonna
Just
be sitting there as an
like
uncle.
Forrest Griffin and Stephen Bonner, those guys. And it's cool because Forrest is catching for us in Power Slap. He's
Oh
saving
yeah,
our heads.
I have been seeing him. Yeah, he's showing up. Michael Bisping's also showing up as a commentator.
Hmm.
It's probably surreal for you guys because you guys all
You
probably
know,
watching UFC, and now you got these guys all like showing up for you guys. It's crazy.
they had at the last event, they had Michael Chandler behind the bar. He was mixing drinks for all the VIP ticket holders. It's funny.
That's so cool.
I mean, yeah, when do you get to say that? Michael Chandler made me a drink, That's really cool.
You wouldn't believe it unless you were there, man. Definitely.
Right. And then the after party, we got the high limit room after party. There's Cam Newton, all these streamers like Sketch, Tifu was there. It's just a really fun time. Power Slap is a big party.
And it seems like you guys are all just one big like family, man. Like you saying before, you guys are like one big family. And
Exactly.
yeah, and they take care of you guys well, man. Yeah, they're flying you out for these flights, and then they fly you back, right? Yeah,
Oh yeah, they pay
yeah.
for our
So
medicals and stuff like that. We're
yeah,
well taken care of by Power Slap for sure.
and then you guys also get access to the Apex. You get trained there with the high facilities. Like you get the good
Yeah,
stuff.
we can go to the PI. Like if I wanted to right now, I could buy a flight to Vegas, show up tomorrow, go work out. All I gotta do is sign in. They have a little iPad. You just take a little picture and
Yeah.
you're already on file. It's really, really cool, man. They really like us.
How far is Vegas from where you at? Like in a
It's a
flight?
4 hour flight, but it goes back three time zones. So if I left here, say it's 1 o'clock right now, I would get there at 2 p.m.,
Oh,
even
okay.
though it's a 4 hour flight. So
Yeah,
you don't really lose that much time going back.
that must feel like pretty weird when you get off the flight. You're probably tired, but it's like,
It
why
is.
is it so
And you got
early?
to be up all day. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
still morning, and I've been up since 6 in the morning. You get a
Yeah.
little jet lag, but it's cool that, we're there for a few days prior and we can get acclimated, cut our weight if we need to, and then get rehydrated and ready for fight day.
What would you say is like the best interactions you've had since you joined the Power Slap?
It's got to be these last few days since getting home with the belt. All these championship. All these guys saying, "What's up, champ?" And I'm taking pictures with everybody. Networking a little bit more. I think this little past few days has been quite surprising to say the least.
You when you pull up to the PI, there's always fighters there, I imagine.
Yeah, usually.
Yeah.
like last time it was International Fight Weekend, obviously. Ian Gary was there while we were cutting weight, and he pulled up with his family and his purple Lamborghini. He's outside revving it, and they got cameras all over them. It was really cool to watch that, just like the behind the scenes of UFC International Fight Weekend stuff.
And you guys are technically like part of that family now as well with the UFC because you guys are like co-owned, right, by Dana.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, like we kind of trying to scoot our way into the brotherhood, but they're a lot more famous than we are and a little more professional. So
yeah,
it's a little harder to make friends with those guys. They kind of look down on you a little bit. Some of them are cool. Some of the guys love it, but some of the guys are like, why?
yeah,
They can't understand
yeah.
it.
I've seen. Who's like the coolest fighter you like met?
Um, I fist bumped Alex Pereira when he was coming through the PI. I cut weight with Volkov, and he walked out with Dumpling. That was cool. Did you see he like
That's sick.
brushed Dumpling's beard before he went on stage? So
That's cool.
funny. Yeah, Ian Gary, Sean Strickland, Michael Chandler. I mean, pretty much all the big names you can think of. I've either walked past them or waved to them,
I've heard
seen him at the PI.
Peter Yan was at the PI checking in at the same time as you.
He PowerSlap 1. He was standing right behind me while we were checking into the hotel. Actually, he had his whole wardrobe and stuff. I'm like, holy cow, this guy's actually really tiny. But he would.
How tall are you?
I'm only 5'9", so I'm not
Like
a big
5'7" and
guy
a
by
half, I
any
think,
means.
right?
Yeah,
5'7" yeah. So
but
you
you could
would,
definitely tell he would kick my butt.
yeah, he's one. I think he's one of the best strikers in the UFC right now.
He's one of the best boxers, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Is there anything else that we haven't covered?
No, I would just say if you want to follow the story, my Instagram is babyface PowerSlap. If you want to add me on Facebook, Anthony Blackburn. Just
I
want to
will
say
link those.
thanks to all the fans and stuff, man.
I will definitely link those in the description and the comment of this video. Just before we leave, can we get like a little pic with you and the championship just for the thumbnail?
Oh, yeah. Here we go. This thing is so cool, man.
It's a beautiful title, man. There we go. Let's get a thumbnail. All right, man. Thank you.
There we go. Cool, man.
It was
Appreciate you
great
having me
talking to
on,
you. I
man.
appreciate your time. It was a hassle to get
We had
this
a little
thing done.
headache earlier, but I'm sure this one's it'll be A-okay.
This is perfect, man. Thank you so much. Take care, brother.
Thanks, man. Take it easy.
Goodbye.